Hello and welcome back to the U Up Podcast. I'm Jordana Abraham.
And I am Jared Freed. It is so good to be back here with you, Jordana. How are you? What's going on? What's the haps?
I'm good. I did have a traumatic moment with Ron last week. Yes, for me.
What happened
not
with
for
Ron?
him.
For you?
For me, not for him, yes.
Well, hold on. You have a bird also living in your backyard.
Well, the stories are separate, but they do have a common thread.
Let's hear it. You're now Snow White.
Well, the birds have flown away.
Birds are gone.
They were sitting, they hatched, they were like in there being fed, and then now they're
For
through
those
the
that
nest.
don't watch Jordana's Instagram stories, she had a full bird nest
Yes.
with a bird that looked like it was animatronic. Like it looked like it was
crazy.
from
Yeah.
Jim Henson. It was like its beak just like out of the nest, and it kept like looking for food. It was like hungry.
I don't know where the mom was. I guess she was there. Sometimes she'd come back with food, and sometimes she was just, praying, probably.
She was at the grocery store.
Mom shaming her.
Yeah. She was on Instagram.
She had Pilates. So separately, last week I get home from work. Mike's not home yet. I take Ron out when I get back.
Are we going with Ron versus Ronnie?
I go both ways.
You go both ways.
I go both ways.
I've noticed you've made a Ron decision with this story. Is it when you're like upset with him that he's Ron?
Perhaps. He's not. Ronnie's a little cuter. Ron's a little bit more.
Right.
Like,
Ron's done
yes.
something wrong.
Yes.
Ronnie was hilarious today.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ronnie is adorable.
Ronnie's adorable. Ron, we're having issues.
Yes. Ron, this is Mike's dog, Ron.
Right.
So I take him out in the backyard, and there's like these birds, and he likes to sometimes he'll like chase the birds around, and like they're always flying away from him, so I don't really think much of it.
Right. It's like, and then there's always that person that's like, he's a hunting dog. They're going to do that.
He's a retriever.
He's a retriever. Yeah, I hate those people because you could just say that about any dog and I would go along with it. Like, I'm never going to like deny someone. Well, no. It's actually not a hunting dog. It's actually a retriever dog. And you should, like, it's just one of those fun facts that I can tell someone's just trying to let me know they know more than me.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a hunting dog. So he's going to do stuff like that. Yeah, you wouldn't get it. You're not a hunter. You're not a man. You'd probably call, you're one of those men who would call TaskRabbit to go get his
More of a cat
birds.
guy.
Yeah, more of a cat guy.
So Ron starts chasing this group of birds, and then there's
flock.
There's this one bird that's like not flying away, and it's like mouthing off to him, and so the bird is like squeaking at him, and he's like barking at they're like this close.
A bird Karen.
Basically, it's like, yes, a bird Karen.
Get away from the other birds.
Right.
I'm visualizing this. This is crazy.
And then Ron starts barking, and then he takes his paw and he smacks the bird.
Oh my God.
He smacks the bird, and I am screaming because I'm like, basically,
stop it. They're going to tape you. They're going to cancel you. You're going to lose your career.
I am full Sammi sweetheart.
Yeah.
Ron, stop. You're traumatizing me. Ron, stop. And he's smacking the bird with, and then I'm like, run up. I like try to pull him.
Okay.
And the bird is like still there. And I'm like to the bird, I'm like, run.
Right, get out of
what
here.
What are you doing? And he like gets away from me.
The dog, Ron.
Yeah. And he grabs the bird in his mouth and he just starts shaking it, like running. And he's got it. And he's like looking at me. He's like, you're done, bitch.
Right.
And he like starts running away from me. And I am chasing him. I call Mike. I'm like screaming. I'm like, he's like, is someone dying? What's going on? You just keep screaming. I'm like, he's got the bird. He goes, I'm at work. Like, you've got to handle it.
Right. I don't know what I'm going to do about the bird.
And he like hung up on me. And I was like, and then I was like yelling, texting him, like, why are you hanging up on me? Blah, blah, blah. And then I finally grab him off the bird. He like drops it. I finally get him to drop it.
Is the bird dead?
Well, it's still kind of moving, but then I need to get him away
Right.
from it. And then as soon as I grab him off the bird, he immediately vomits. So
Oh my
I'm like,
God.
I don't know if he's vomiting from like the excitement of like this
I would
thing
say
or what's
it's
going
the
on.
raw bird he just ate.
Potentially. I don't really know. He like throws up his lunch right there. And then I'm like, drag him into the house. He is so upset with me. He's like standing by the door, just like crying and barking and like trying to get out the door. And then I went back out there and the bird was dead.
Gone. What did you do with the bird body?
I threw it out. So
Like
he wouldn't
with
like
what?
I got put on like gloves and then I put it in a
Like
plastic
oven mitts?
bag.
Or you had like plastic
like
gloves?
plastic cleaning gloves. I put him in a Ziploc and then I put him in the trash bag and then I took the trash out.
When is the Shiva call.
It's been.
When can I pay my respects to the bird? Yeah,
I guess. Death of the summer that I've witnessed. It was a little bit. I was very angry with him.
Well, I mean, not to be the douche that we talked about earlier. He's an hunting dog. This is what dog's gonna dog.
Part of me was like, I don't understand why. Part of me felt like it was my fault.
Right, you've brought him up to be a killer.
Or like I couldn't control him.
Well, this is like
he wasn't on a leash because I'm in the backyard.
This is like when the neighbor hears about the murderer neighbor, and they're like, well, they were a good guy. I don't understand. I never would have thought. Is that my bird?
But also, like, there must be a little bit of the survival of the fittest instinct because, like, I'm like, why the fuck were you trying to, like, mouth off to him? Like, run. And I was screaming, like, run. Like, why are you not?
Well, this is why some animals survive and some don't. You know, this is Darwinism. This is the animal kingdom playing out right in front of you.
It is
crazy.
A lot of nature.
Yeah, well, you're in nature. Yes. That's the thing. You're gone from a city mouse to a country mouse very quickly.
Yeah, and I mean, it's beautiful, but it's disgusting.
It is disgusting. I mean, the dog is maybe the dog's teaching you about a little more than you're teaching them.
Potentially.
Like Ron is showing you this is how it works out here.
I mean, he's taking
You think you were safe in your doorman building. Taking this, you thought the subway was dangerous? We're animals out here.
We are. I mean, when he took his paw and he was just like smacking that bird around.
Were you a little turned on?
I mean, part of me was like,
Ron.
I have to say,
Ron.
I have to say, in the back of my head, I was like, your balls can't be that small.
This is a big ball maneuver.
Your balls can't be that small.
Right. Yeah. Or he just beats up on little birds. Watch a hawk land into the yard. He'll
then
run
I'm
away
like,
real
pick on
quick.
some on your own size.
Right.
Yeah.
This is easy to beat up a little tiny bird.
It's a very medium-sized ball move.
It has got to be wild to watch that. Because you're this is the dog that I'm cuddling with. And now all of a sudden, big dog got to bark.
My sweet baby.
Yeah.
It's
this
like
is how the murderers' moms feel.
One woman's loving husband was another woman's situationship.
Right. Everyone that says, "Oh, my husband, he was such a great guy."
My Ron would never do that.
Right. Little did you know, your Ron out here smacking birds around.
Just like, was upsetting.
I mean, how do you even train that? You know what I mean? Like that's the thing. Like to me, I would feel a little helpless because it's like you train the Ron to pee outside and eat when he's supposed to eat and sleep in his crate. But like, hey, don't kill a bird.
Murder. I mean, that seems like that's like in his.
That's in his DNA.
Right.
That's
very. I don't know. And I was kind of like, I hope this isn't the bird that just flew out of the nest.
You were.
Right next to
it would be a little weird to use the bird for content, and then
your dog
murders the bird.
it like 3 days later. Yeah.
And it was a cute bird.
I know.
The bird kept squeaking out, looking for food.
It did look small. I was like, maybe it's like a babyish bird who doesn't know that you're not supposed. When you see a dog, you fucking run.
Yeah, this is you're out in the wild.
How's
my nature? Del Rey is beautiful.
Any birds? Being
no
birds.
I don't really see many birds. I see some old birds, some old. Women running around, old ladies, old birds, literally.
They're hanging around the boomers too much.
Del Rey is like, it's weirdly still feels like a vacation.
I was going to say, do you feel like you live there or do you feel like you're just kind of like stopping there in between shows?
There's a little bit of both, but there's moments where I feel like I live there when I'm like in the community and I've gone on a date or two since being there, which feels very like adult.
So you're driving to your dates?
I'm driving. It feels very professionally done. It feels adult. I've said this already before, but like Del Rey, like if you're outside of it, people are like, oh, all those old people. But if you're inside of it, people are like, wow, that's a really young area. Like people are like 22 there, which means it's probably appropriately aged for me. Like it's somewhere between the two.
Are you meeting these people on apps?
I'm done with apps. I'm off the apps, as we talked about on benefits. Yes. If you want to go listen to our benefits episode, go sign up for benefits. I talk about leaving the apps and the reason why, but also Jordana. We talk about what's going on in Jordana's life and tell some stories a little bit. It was a half and half. It was the black and white cookie of episodes.
Yes.
But sign up for
benefits.
Benefits. That's where we do personal episodes every every other week, basically. And the benefit subscribers, like, I see them on the road, all awesome, so nice, great. But that's a more personal side of what goes on here. But I talk about deleting the apps and partaking in the adventure we have told people to do.
The challenge, the U Up challenge,
Take
the U
off
Up summer challenge,
the U Up summer challenge. Stop doing the apps. Have 3, plans made with friends and their spouses, and then go to a bar every week and have some dinner by yourself without your phone. Put it in your purse. Put it in your pocket. And I've had a few people reach out, and they're doing it. And I think
how are they liking it?
I think it's like, it's so funny when you present these ideas. The most miserable person in the room will be like, that doesn't work. And
so then instead of just not doing
it. And that's them lashing out, because whenever I give an idea here, working is doing it. Doing it is it working. Like,
also, it's not always the case that things have an immediate effect.
Well, this is why when your friends don't want to fix you up. Like, if I'm to speak directly to the person that's like, it doesn't work, my friends don't have significant others, my friends' significant others have
your attitude.
It's totally your attitude, because my suggestion to hang out with your friends and their spouses isn't to get something from them. It's to have fun with your friends and their spouses.
Right.
That's the advice. I'm guaranteeing you'll be a happier, more fulfilled person by hanging out with the people that are already people you like.
Right. Which will in turn make you a more desirable person to date.
We are going to be talking on Friday about my best friend's wedding, and I want to give a little bit of a teaser.
Yes. And also, if you want them to be fresh in your mind, you should watch the movie.
You can
rewatch the movie.
Rewatch it. You can rent it on Amazon. That's what you and I both did. The movie, from a U Up fan, podcaster, U Up perspective, fascinating. And
so much to unpack.
There's so much to talk about. We're going to be talking about it on Friday's episode, so we're giving you a warning now. Watch My Best Friend's Wedding if you want to have fun with the show we're going to do. Or
if you've already seen it at some point, I think you'll enjoy it still.
Yeah. You've seen it, not seen it in a while. But rent it now. To watch it from this perspective, so much of that movie has to do with attitude and perspective. And I think hanging out with your friend and their spouse, or making a plan to go out with them, and then them just having a good feeling about you and you feeling good about yourself, it's like one of those things that's, it's like eating well.
Right. Well,
if you eat well for dinner and don't have the fries or have half of them, your morning's better, you sleep better. All these things get related to it. And I'm saying that as a chubby fuck. Okay? I like all the fries. I like a big old martini.
Right.
But when I, do the right things, the other things tend to come.
Well, what are the fries in this analogy?
I guess the fries are sitting home on your phone and avoiding your friends a little bit. I think that's I will say the Del Rey move, it is a little lonelier to be New York. The one thing is there's always buzzing, there's always something going on. You can go anywhere. And also that's kind of back to the dating thing. When you go out on a date in New York, there's people out, everyone's on dates. It feels kind of more casual, whereas the date in Del Rey feels more like business.
To do.
We're the only ones in the restaurant. You better talk.
Easy to get a reservation.
Easier for a reservation. And I think that's the season too. I'm in off season, which is part of the reason I'm there.
Only losers are left.
Only the losers. Only the lonelies. And it's just us in a bar. What are you going to talk about? Well, let's get into it.
Right.
Let's get into the date. Not look at that couple, what area to live in.
So how did you meet the people?
It was prior app.
Okay. So
it was from the app.
Deletion.
Based on if you
the great deletion.
Pre the great deletion. Well, I had to go on the app and tell a few people, hey, I'm deleting.
Oh, you're that guy.
Well,
I'm about to delete the apps. Last call.
It does feel like, hey, ladies!
Going out of business.
That's
everything must go.
But Dick must be sucked. Gotta go. Get on while the going's hot.
There go the last of your matches.
That's it.
Once they hear that.
Well, on that subject, I do want to update on one thing we talked about. We talked about the person who got kicked off the app.
Oh,
and then I got the email.
Oh, that was a great update. Yeah.
So the update is, well, and this is, I'm not just bringing this up to like smash this person, but like, you know, when you say to someone, hey, I'm leaving the app, here's my number, I would love to go out, or like continue the conversation, it's a little weird. I have to acknowledge that's a little weird. Like, why are you leaving? Suddenly, all of a sudden, you're,
is everything okay?
Hey, I gotta get all my shit and go. Like, it looks like I'm, you know.
Well, it's like when you leave, if you have to leave a date suddenly.
Right. What happened?
Right. Is everything okay?
Right. So there was a few people I had conversations with. Here's my number. And I couldn't be like, hey, I was posted in a Are We Dating the Same Person Facebook group for the second time.
And now I'm on the run.
And now I'm on, right. And if you want more of that, go to benefits. You can hear how I feel about that. And then I can't be like, and they wrote a bunch of vague things that made me sound like a monster.
Right.
Like I can't say that. And so here's my number. Let's go out.
So what do you say?
I say, hey, it was really nice talking to you. I'm just going to give you my number because I'm going to be deleting the apps, which I do think.
Because you should have ended it with to focus on us.
To focus on what we have going on here. To focus on this relationship.
He's deleting the apps, guys. That's what I would text the group chat.
Right.
He's deleting the apps.
But you haven't met yet. It doesn't matter. He's really serious.
The conversation was that good.
That's how good. We had a great rat-tat-tat. So I deleted and I just said, hey, I'm out of here. But here's my number and, you know, let's catch up. And, you know, there's, again, just like the woman who got kicked off and I got the email about, there's a spectrum of stories that could be the reason for it. It could be his wife found out, you know, or it could be he's had enough, like we all have.
Yeah.
So that was the same.
Have you ever gotten that message from someone?
I have.
I'm deleting the apps.
I'm deleting the apps. Hey, I've had enough here, but we've had a really nice conversation, and I just want to give you my number. I've had that.
Okay.
Totally understand that perspective. I also could understand that they're a crazy person, and that's something we all have to acknowledge. But I think we sometimes give too much space to the crazies.
Right.
Like we assume everyone, it's 50-50, you know, wife and kids in the suburbs, and the other 50 is they were annoyed at the apps, but it's usually they're annoyed at the apps and they're right. It's not like we didn't have a nice conversation, but to bring it back to the update, the woman that I got the email about, she did message me on Instagram and was like, just wanted to say like told me a story that was believable about an ex that went wrong. Fine. And I answered. And because, again, weighing the things.
Right.
But then in the same scenario where if like someone texts me and goes, hey, just wanted to make sure you had my number too. Why'd you delete the app? I have to answer right away.
Would you give the real?
I would say, listen, I've been on them for a while and it was time to get off. Also, I'm a comedian and I have had like people putting my stuff out there in a way that really didn't make me feel good. That would be my way of saying it before, right? And then I would tell them more of the story because I'm pretty open about that.
But for the other woman who messaged you, I was like, this doesn't seem worth it.
Well, that's the thing. You have to be so. I think you have to acknowledge on dating apps that you've never met these people, and you have to be so upfront, like that it is uncomfortable to say, like, hey, I had this thing happen where I got kicked off the app, and I'm like, you know, it sucks. Hey, I'm sorry that happened. And then if I ask, like, so how's your weekend been? And you're weird again or like coy,
Is that what you did?
A little bit.
Okay.
It was
so you
like
continued the conversation.
So I tried to, and then I go. I mean, it got weird right away again.
How did it get weird? You didn't send me that part.
I didn't send you that part.
You just sent me the part where she said my ex tried to got me kicked off again, which I was like, which he's done before, and I was like, all right, doesn't seem.
Hey, okay, so here it is.
All right, so let's do so read the message.
So, not sure you'll see this, but we were talking on Hinge. My ex reported my account. It got taken down. Not the first time, embarrassingly enough. Okay, that happens.
Does it?
I don't know. Things happen. I'm empathetic to. Okay, and listen, but from my end, I was emailed from Hinge.
I was like, I told you like. I don't think so. But fine. You're more.
I also think they're hot, and we had a fun conversation. So like again, like I just didn't want to disappear without saying anything. I was really enjoying our connection. I mean, and connection. She writes a couple other nice things.
Okay.
Hey, I was wondering where you went. I'm sorry that happened. I'm in a tough spot. Not every day Hinge emails you to warn you about someone. I was enjoying the banter too. If you're back in Florida, let me know.
Okay.
And then their next message was,
can you pay for my oil change?
It's just them going, you deleted my message. You deleted the message with a weird emoji I've never seen before.
Like you deleted what message?
I don't know. I don't know what they're talking about. I have no idea. But I'm like, you can't have this
it has
weird.
To be completely normal after that.
Right.
Yeah.
It's got to be normal after that. And I know. Here's the thing that you see from the male side a lot. My side, from experience. This happens a lot with like people DMing me and people. This is my message to the women out there as your straight man on a dating podcast. I know you want to be pursued, but like be fucking normal. Like you can't force a pursuit. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of times, a lot of women are on these dating apps that were created by men. I acknowledge this. I fully acknowledge that dating apps are created by men for men. They're not for women. They're truly not. They are. Women would find men no matter what because they want to.
Well, they'd find men to like sleep with probably no matter what.
Date too.
You're saying?
I think they'd find more people to date. I think the dating apps were created for lazy men to be more lazy.
Okay.
And I think with this, when you're like trying to force this like cutesy conversation,
you're trying to force a pursuit where it's not naturally occurring because you're on something that sort of gets rid of the need for a pursuit.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like, we can get to that point. You can be pursued in other ways and maybe a more 2025 way with like
but
plans.
You have to meet
and
first.
You got to meet first. I can't because you deleted the message with a weird emoji. I wrote, huh? And then they wrote back, you back in Florida already? and then they wrote, my apologies. I'm usually not allowed to talk to people on Sunday morning. LOL. And it's like,
what does that even mean?
I don't know. And I just ghosted. I just didn't answer.
Okay.
I just was like, I gotta go away now.
I think that's fine.
Which is fine. I'm just saying, like, I was reading this and like.
Well, that's why I'm like, the ex. The thing about the ex, to me, that wasn't a good reason for being.
Fine enough for me if you're normal from there.
Fine.
You know, if you go normal after that, we're good. I'll forget it. Okay. I'll believe you. It's just, and I think men do this too, where they go from like normal to like changing shit up a lot, and like. This lesson for men would be good too. Like they've never met you.
Right.
You're dangerous.
You can't start being quirky until like there's like a established sense of like baseline like intimacy.
Safety.
Yeah.
Trust.
Yes.
A little bit of trust.
Yes.
But, I thought this was interesting. And
no, it's very interesting.
Also, I'm on the road. This is coming out on Wednesday the 25th. I think I'm in London right now.
Nice. And then
foggy London town.
And then you're going to Portugal.
Going to Portugal. And then
you're going to give me all your... Where in Portugal are you going?
Comparta. Allison.
My friend Liza was just there.
I saw Liza was there. Allison at Over the Moon Vacations does it again. All of you go follow her. She's...
Maybe I should have her plan my Portugal
I think you should.
Yeah.
She came through. Allison Over the Moon Vacations. That's where you can go. That's Plug City.
Are you doing anywhere else or just there?
Just Lisbon for one night, and then during the day on Sunday. Then my brother and his wife, they're going on a cruise.
Right.
I got shows. If you're listening right now, Stamford, Connecticut, Bloomington, Indiana, Brea, California, Spokane, Washington, Denver, Colorado, San Francisco, California, East Providence, Rhode Island, Kansas City, Missouri, Richmond, Virginia, and then Chicago, Illinois. We're already out.
Who doesn't love Chicago?
Love Chi-Town. We're already out by this time, I think I'll have a whole tour announced. The Table for One tour.
Love it.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I think that's a good name.
It's a good name.
A lot of shit. I mean it because I've talked a lot of shit about your old names.
You do. You do talk a lot of shit. It's a whole tour is going to be out by now.
I'm excited to see it.
I need the material to get better, but We're working on it. You ready to do the email? What are we talking about today?
All right, I'll read the email. Hi, J&J, longtime listener and subscriber. Need advice. I've been seeing this guy and really feeling the connection. We hooked up and had sex on the second date this past weekend, but the connection has been insane, and we have really been vocal about how much we're into each other, which is pretty rare for me. He texts me all day with substance, and I've really been enjoying our connection and time together. It was pretty out of character for me to hook up so quickly, just not usually my style. But like I said, I was feeling it, and we are in our 30s, so I just said, fuck it. I did want to clarify after the fact, though, that it was out of the norm for me and that I'm not looking for anything casual. See attached text. All right, you ready?
I'm ready. You're going to be her. I'm going to be him.
Yes. Okay.
I love when they send the text. Thank you.
Yes. The raw materials. Okay. And I love that in these texts, she's listening to our podcast while she's sending this. Do you see the top?
Oh, yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, she screenshotted while listening. So we know she's a real
I love
listener.
It. She's got us in her ear while being brave because this is all her like telling this guy, what she's feeling.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll start with the relevant part. Okay. When can I see you again anyway? Also, just wanted to say I had lots of fun with you on Saturday, but I wanted to be clear that I'm not looking for just that or something casual. I'm not implying that you are, but that was kind of out of character for me so soon, LOL. I'm liking getting to know you and wanted to get on the same page, so just opening the convo up.
Yeah. She says like a very nice thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's going to TBH her.
Yeah. Yeah, TBH. I don't know if you want to get a TBH.
Yeah, TBH.
To your...
No, it's not.
I'm taking this seriously text.
I don't love a TBH.
Yeah, TBH.
TBD.
TBH, TBD. Yeah, TBH. That wasn't my intention, but I'm not mad it happened. LOL. This guy, it's like from the mouth of babes. Like you can tell he's, as we're going to read more of the text, he's being very honest, but also like.
He's being honest, but also very vague. I think
I totally agree.
Yes. I think he's being honest, but not straightforward.
Well, this is the theme. We've had this on this podcast. We had this with the guy who wrote into us. Saying that he's being upfront, but should he tell the women up front that he doesn't want? He's being vague and not vague at the same time. Vague, and this is what men do.
Right. And you can be honest and vague at the same time, but you can't really be like vague and straightforward at the same time.
No, you can't. Yeah, TBH, that wasn't my intention, but I'm not mad it happened, LOL. And if I'm being honest, I had a date planned for this coming weekend. I hope you don't think I'm some whore who sleeps around.
Like you.
Right. Like no one used the word whore.
Right.
It's his words. You're the only person I've been with for a while. TBH, I'm always expecting to get ghosted the day of a date, sweating emoji.
That last line is very annoying.
It's garbage. I know what he's doing. I know exactly what he's doing. She's come to the right place. I did enjoy my time with you as well, and I would want to get to know you better. But I understand if you have a problem. I understand if you have a problem with me going on dates with other people after we had sex last weekend. I just wanted to be honest considering the circumstances.
LOL, I don't think you're a whore. I actually respect how honest
We're
you were.
We're both not whores.
Right. Nor do I think I am.
Right.
Yeah. LOL, I don't think you're a whore. I actually respect how honest you were there. I just wanted to set the tone early because I'm not into casual only stuff. You don't owe me exclusivity at this point, but so same, haven't been with anyone in a while, and I typically can only date one person at once, LOL. But still just not clear if you were looking for something long-term, and no regrets for me either.
I totally understand. I'm glad you took what I said as I meant it. I'm not trying to have 2 girlfriends or a fling, LOL. I'm looking for long term. It's just online dating hasn't been good to me lately. And I'm sure you know how it is. It's hard out there, laughing face emoji.
What does that even mean?
I mean,
that part is like the part where I'm like,
I know what that means.
It's so vague that I don't. He's saying online dating hasn't been good to me, so why are you going on another date?
No, well, he's trying to relate to her in a way that's just him lying.
I'm just like you.
Right. You and I, women have problems with dating. Men do too.
Like, hard out there.
It's hard out there for us. Like he's taking
So
the general spirit of everyone would agree that dating is hard. And we can keep reading.
Yeah, all right, we'll finish it and then we'll.
Yeah.
LOL, I sure do. I'm actually not sure.
Right? She gets it. Dating's hard.
He
said nothing and something at the same time.
Right. You guys are so similar. I'm actually not sure if you're trying to like let me down easy or genuinely into getting to know each other more. So ball is totally in your court and no hard feelings. Like no one has been that honest. So yeah, I'm just not too sure how to take it. LOL.
I'm not trying to let you down easy. LOL. I like you. I think you're actually cool.
Unlike all those other whores.
Loser. Your humor and stances on things surprise me a little. Like I wouldn't expect you to agree with me on some of the things you did. I'm an open book, of course.
Okay.
I'm honest and I feel like it's best if someone does or doesn't like me, then it's for the right reasons and not because I'm trying to be someone I'm not.
Okay, cool. I appreciate that. I like talking and hanging out with you too, obviously.
I feel like I shouldn't have said anything. Facepalm emoji.
No, I appreciate it really. But if I'm being vulnerable, I don't know how to navigate this, LOL, in regards to making plans with you. Maybe that's me overthinking, but yeah, also trying to be honest.
Don't overthink it. I'm an idiot because it's not even this weekend. Sweating face emoji.
What does that mean?
Like it's not even his date this weekend.
My date is next week.
Right.
Okay, I'll try not to, LOL.
And then he writes at 6:23 a.m. Holla.
Is it holla or hola?
Hola, holla.
Okay.
I don't know.
And then she says, hi, morning. How's it hanging?
Yeah.
Okay, so then she writes to us. This is her email to us. I do feel like I've learned from this pod and kind of had a reveal here by saying exactly what I'm looking for rather than only asking what he is. Anyway, I can't figure out how this sits with me. I know it's normal dating behavior to see more than one person in the beginning, but something about this connection felt deeper to me than usual, and I don't know why it's hurting me so much. Jared, do you believe what he's saying, how he is looking for something long-term? Jordana, how would you have felt if Mike said this in the beginning? I'm trying to tell myself it's okay, but I feel like it will be hard for me to be normal with him now, LOL. And like I said to him, I'm going to start feeling insecure, probably. Help.
Well, I love that she wrote into us. I think this is like a very relatable issue. I don't think she's stupid for anything she did.
No.
I think there's like, we could play Monday morning quarterback and give her like different ways to go about this. I think we're where we are. You know, you can't, we are in a place where she has told a guy she likes that she likes him.
Yeah.
And he responded with a yeah, TBH, TBD.
Basically.
Yeah. And how would you feel if this was with Mike? We'll get to her question.
I think, here's the thing. I think both Mike and I went on dates with other people after our first date with each other.
Right.
I don't think that in itself is an issue. I think being told that someone is going on other dates is a different thing, and that is more of a signal to you about where someone is at than the fact that they are going on another date. Because she didn't ask, are you dating other people? I don't usually do this with someone I'm not exclusive with. She didn't ask him if he was dating other people.
Right. In a perfect world, what she wanted to happen didn't happen. What she wanted to happen was, hey, I'm like kind of trying to tell you that I like you more than I've liked other people in the past.
Right. This meant something to me.
She was hoping that like the sex thing, she didn't really care about it. You can tell. Like
You're saying she didn't care.
It wasn't like, oh my God, I had sex. You're going to think I'm a whore. You know, like
that's how
the direction he went.
Right.
It was her going, I'm really kind of liking you. This is different. Mm-hmm. And then she wanted a response of him going, you know what? I've been thinking the same thing, and I just want to let you know, like, it was a really great time on Saturday, and I'm excited to go out again. Right.
Yeah, and I think if he said that and he went on another date with someone, that wouldn't be an issue. I don't think it'd be like him being this conniving, sneaky man.
Right. I do think he has some fear of being called out. I think that's why he's getting ahead. Like, there's this, like, ultra honesty going on. Like, I
almost think he was doing it to let her know that, like, he's not really
it's both
looking for something with her seriously.
I don't know. I think to me it's a little bit of all things. Like, let me let you know exactly where I'm at. And also, like, I do think, like, if I'm to put myself in his shoes, I'm like, I don't want to see story time on TikTok. And maybe that's just me.
You think that's a fear of most men, or more men like you who are in the public?
I don't know. I'm every day I get a little bit. I'm not sure. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure how much those videos speak to the everyday guy. even though I'm supposed to be charged with being the everyday guy.
Right.
I do know that he's hearing all the time men lie. And when women are upset, they lie. Or they're upset at lies. So if he's not worried about story time.
But it wouldn't have been lying to not include that.
I agree.
Fact.
But anyone could take that side of like, you're a liar. You didn't tell me you went on other dates after I told you that this was different. Okay. So again, like there's a spectrum on all things. The spectrum on this is he's either letting you know, I just want to hook up, which I didn't really get from his text.
Okay.
I think this was
I didn't get that, but I didn't not get that.
Right. I think this was his number one goal was calming you down. That's all his goal was. So he doesn't even know what he's saying. All these words were shh, shh. No. You don't usually do this, but you did. Shh.
Easy there.
Easy, big fella. I know you suck my dick, but it's cool. It's cool. Just
I don't
relax.
think you're a whore.
You're not a whore. We're all not whores.
Well,
dating's hard. We're all gonna make mistakes. Because that's why I think he said nothing.
If I was gonna revise her text to him, I think it would be a little bit less about like, I think she was also a little bit vague.
She's caught up on this I never do that thing. I think that's
I don't think that's the direction to go in.
I think anytime someone says I usually never do that, it
comes off a little insecure.
A lot insecure. And it's also you telling him you're someone I did that for. You're someone I acted differently for because I feel you're different. So it is a reveal, as she said. It's letting him know he is different to her.
Okay.
Please don't fuck me over because I did this thing that I never do for anyone else. That's how I would take it. And I would go, well, how would and then at that point I would go, well, where does that leave us? We're 2 dates in.
Yeah. So
I've been physical with you. Right.
Like this, let's say this is you. I'm going to give you a few different scenarios.
Okay.
You go on 2 dates with someone that you're like, 2 solid dates. We hooked up. You can kind of go here or there. Like you enjoyed yourself, would go out again, but like have a few other dates lined up maybe. The woman that you went on the date with says this to you. How would you respond?
I would say that I had a really good time too. It is really nice getting to know you. I hope we can go out again.
Okay.
I don't know.
I don't think you're a whore.
Well, well, you're not a whore. Yeah. We're not a whore. We're all not whores. Yeah. If we know one thing. I also think I would get into planning mode with her. Like she's like,
you would start planning a date,
right?
To ease her mind.
To ease her mind, it would be a little bit. It would be part easing her insecurities and part me getting this like off my plate a little bit.
Okay,
and he doesn't do that. Instead, he's like, I got other dates planned, baby girl. So,
well, that's to me is why he's doing a reveal of like, I'm not quite there.
Right, but now they're left in this like I think.
Right, where do you go from there?
Right, and
that's why I think by saying that he has a date, I feel like she almost doesn't really have a choice but to say I think we're on different pages.
I don't think she has to do that. It's 2 dates in, and I think she's like, I think she has to like, she's got to get out of where do you stand and just I think she's got to act like a bus that's like.
She already put all her cards on the table, though.
She did. I do think there's like, right now they're in vague, like, do you like me land? And he's like, yeah, I like you. I'm enjoying you, but I'm going to go see if I like this other person too.
Right.
And I think this whole like company policy, we usually don't do this here. Like, that's why it's fraudulent. Like, oh, we don't usually sleep with people on the second date, but for you, we made an exception. He's like, okay, I don't care. Like, I came to your store and you opened up for me. Do? I think she needs to make it. I think she needs to like, to me, she needs to be the bus and she's got a route. She has a place she has another bus stop she has to get to. Like, I think we all have like our bus stops. So it starts with like, my first stop is the first date. My second stop is the second date. My third stop is hanging out with my friends. Like, my fourth stop, we don't do texting in between the third and fourth stop. We got to put the phones away. Like, I think she's got to like more make it tangible for her.
What she wants, you're saying?
What she wants and how she operates. She keeps talking about like, we don't usually have sex. I don't usually do this. Well, what do you do normally for the third date when you like someone?
Right. Just do that.
Just do that. So like, I think for her, like she's saying also they have this deep connection over text. I think that can get too much.
Right.
If I were her, I'd be like, hey, I know we just had this like, I wouldn't even acknowledge it. I'd just be like, I'm going out with friends this weekend. Are you down to come?
Right.
Have a plan, invite him to join it. When he doesn't, you got to pull away.
Do you think he won't?
I don't know if he will. Mm-hmm. To me, he knows exactly what he's doing. Like the idea that he didn't get everything from that text exchange, he knows exactly where you stand.
That's why I think this is like, it doesn't seem like it's went great.
But I think like to tell her, like, I think the big problem here is she's like,
I would back off a little bit.
Yeah, you got to back off.
That's what I'm saying. To me, it'd be like, I guess if I were her, I would say, okay, like laid my cards out here. I'm going to kind of like back off, try to invest in this less because it seems like the other person's less invested than me. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to try to invest in it more. I would go out again, but I'm going to try to like temper my expectations about how this is going and maybe also go out with other people.
Right. I don't know. I don't think it's wrong to like go out again.
I don't think so either.
No, but to go out with other people just because.
I think it's more like, okay, like I'm trying to like, I'm trying to de-invest in this a little bit. I'm trying to like take the edge off of this. I'm not just going to like sit here and like wait for you to decide if you want to like date me while you're dating other people. Like it's like if you were doing a job interview and someone was like, yeah, I'm not sure. I'm interviewing at a bunch of other places. So I'm not really sure. Would I stop interviewing anyone else for the role?
No, I'm just saying she's already.
Maybe there's someone I like more.
Right. I just think she's decided I think like, I don't know if she can operate. I don't know if this company operates that way.
Right.
Like, I think like, I hear what you're saying. Like, and she has a right to do whatever she wants. She should go date other people. Dating other people because he isn't a good reason to date other people.
It's not because he is. It's more like because I think she's overinvested in this. Well, and so like I would keep my options open. I
actually don't think she's overdone anything. Like I think.
Well, compared to him.
Well, but I'm saying let's take him out of the picture.
Fine.
You went on a date. You went on a second date. Something she wrote specifically was that she wrote something about their texting, which is pretty rare. He texts me all day with substance. Like the all day with substance thing that's the one where you can get ahead of yourself and you're like, who else could they be texting like this? Who else could they be?
False sense of intimacy.
Right. And I think she has a false sense of intimacy with him based on like no plan in the book for next week. Well, but he's texting with substance, so this must mean something more.
That's why I'd back off the texting.
Right.
Again, I would like she wants back to the beginning, like she wants to be pursued a little bit. And so like again, it's a little bit of a game. She's laid her cards out there. Mm-hmm. She's being told, I don't feel the same way. In vague, non-straightforward terms. And so if I were her, I would say, okay, like again, like it's not a crime to be on a different page than me, but I'm also taking the signal and now I'm going to change my behavior to kind of like fit the response that I've been given. Right. If I've been given a maybe by someone, I'm going to like keep interviewing other people. Right.
But I think on top of that, inviting him to the substance you feel, like, if you feel that you're on date 3, but this has substance and real to it, invite him to a plan that is real and has substance.
I like that.
I think that's got to like, and you got to be like, hey, this is where I'm at.
This is where me and all my whores hang.
Right.
So if you want to come.
Well, I'm on Whore Island.
Yes.
And we're all hanging and we're visiting and we're going to do a thing. Like, to me, if she was like, I want to see this movie this weekend. You want to go? Like, that would be the type of hang that someone who's texting you like this should be ready to do.
Right.
So then you go, and if they're like, no, I can't, it's be like, okay, well, I'm making an effort to make this like a real thing. Like instead of like, I don't usually do this, I only date one person, act like you're only dating one person.
Right.
I think that's the
I
more
agree. I think that's the more empowered way to do it.
Empowered, and also like it gives him a in or out scenario instead of like, do you like me? He's always going to like you. Yeah.
Right.
Like
he always would, but the question is like, how much? Right. Where it's like that would work on you. If someone asked you to do that, if you do, you would decide in your head, are you that interested?
Right. If I was out there deciding whether to send the text that's like, hey, I never do this and I want to make sure we're on the same page, I would actually opt for, like, I would suggest saying, what is the page that you think you're on? events do you do on that page? Invite that person to that event.
I like it.
Instead of, hey, this vague what page. And I think what she did was good. I just think if you visualize and make it real, I think a lot of men specifically are like, I would go, I'm not ready for movies Saturday during the day.
Right.
Versus.
Well, I'm saying if he's not ready for movies during the day, then I would.
Then you're probably different pages.
Other people.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. All right. Let's do icky or picky.
All right.
UUP@betches.com. Keep sending in your ickies or pickies. I like this one. Guys, newish listener from the UK. Cheerio! Loving listening to the podcast.
Better be at your show.
Work. Better be at the show. You better fucking be there. How did I not discover you guys sooner? What do you guys think about this? I'm 40, single, female, matched with a guy on Hinge, and we got chatting. He is 49 and male. We had a telephone call, and towards the end of the call, I suggested that we should meet up for a coffee at the weekend. He agreed, and then I said, let's arrange this tomorrow as it was now evening. He texted me the next day and asked me, where would you like to meet and when? So I suggested, how about halfway? We live around an hour away from each other, and either 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. on Saturday, if that wasn't too early. He then replied, sharing the website link of a breakfast place right near him. Okay. Followed with, if you come down to blank, then this place does nice breakfast. My treat. I got the ick and haven't replied. Firstly, he didn't listen to what I said at all after asking me where and when. Why not suggest that to begin with? Secondly, my treat. I wanted to reply with, I'm not a dog. I don't need a treat. I found the my treat kind of condescending from someone I don't know. Am I being too picky or is this icky? So we have the text.
Okay. You'll be him. I'll be her.
Cool. Let's do Saturday morning.
Yeah, that works for me. Thumbs up.
Awesome. Just need to decide location and time.
Maybe halfway. Is 10 or 11-ish okay? If that's not too early.
Morning. Yeah, that's fine. Or if you wanted to come down to Manchester, I know a place that does nice breakfast. My treat. And then gives the place.
And then I guess he follows up.
She didn't answer.
Yeah, so he goes, hey, hope your weekend's still going well. Saturday's still good for you. Okay, so I think the way that she wrote it in the email and the way that it was said is not really the same thing.
Totally agree.
Right?
We didn't have the text until just now.
Yeah, I didn't have the text when I first read this, and now I have a totally different feeling
when
about
I first read this, I was like, for him to say,
where and when?
And then you say midway through, and then he just gives a place that's near him.
Yeah.
And then says, my treat. Like, as
that's
almost like.
So douchey.
Right, so douchey, as almost like, yeah, I got a little treat for you over here. The way she wrote it is not.
That's not what happened, right? Which I'm glad that's why
happened.
she sent the text. We obviously didn't see it until this very minute, because he doesn't say where and when do you want to meet. He says we just need to decide on a location and time, and then she volunteers maybe halfway.
And then he writes, yeah, that's fine, and gives another option.
Right.
Or I have this other place that down in Manchester. And they do nice breakfast, ... my treat. That kind of was normal.
He's suggesting it, right? Yeah, it's not like she came back and was like, that's like, I don't really have time. I'd rather meet halfway. And then he like insisted or something. That's not what happened.
And then said my treat.
Yes.
The my treat thing only is annoying the way she presented it in the email.
Yeah, I agree.
Because the way it was written in this text is so normal.
Yeah, I don't think that he did anything wrong.
I don't either. I was in icky mode too. Because I was like, based on the way she wrote it, hey, let's do a place that's in between. And then sending a place near you is like, we have, again, to go back to like we're meeting strangers thing. Like, right. Be normal. A plus B has to equal C.
And he's basically,
there can't be variable of D floating in.
Right. And also he's being like, I know this place is good.
Right.
And like it happens to be by me. Maybe I don't know anything in the middle. I know this place. If you come here, like, would you mind coming here?
Right. And he even, the most important part is him writing, yeah, that's fine. And giving another option. He didn't say, no, that's stupid. Why don't you come to this place?
Right.
Yeah.
Why would I meet halfway when there's this great place here?
Right. The tone was totally normal.
She's the problem.
I'm sorry to give feedback to
my treat thing. I don't think is wrong. I think he's just clarifying it's a first date. He's going to pay.
The my treat thing would be annoying if it was not acknowledging that you just offered to go halfway.
Right.
But he did acknowledge it. Yeah, that's
he
fine.
Said fine.
Or we can do this other thing, and it's obviously my
right.
treat.
And if she responded and I think said, I'd really rather, it's a little far for me.
Right.
And then he insisted, that would be annoying, but that's not even what happened. She didn't give him the chance to do that.
No, not at all. I think, and listen, she's writing to us. I appreciate her writing, and she's like, she is asking, am I being too picky? I think you're being picky.
Picky.
I think this is one of those where it's like, you could have had it out with him. You could have talked a little
Just
bit
communicate.
more. Yeah, communicate. Hey, no, that place does look great. And there is a nice, classy way to do it. That place does look great, but I would really love to meet halfway just because I got other things going on that day and it'll be 45 minutes back, but on and on and on. But
right. And he lives in Manchester, which is a city. I don't know where she lives. Maybe she lives somewhere, maybe there's not that many places in between or by her.
Right.
It's just easier to go by him if he's in.
And it's maybe cuter.
Sure.
There's the cutesy angle where it's highway rest stop isn't as fun to get coffee.
Yeah.
as
the cute place,
Manchester breakfast place.
Have you been to Manchester?
I think I have.
I was there. We have Lad Bible offices there.
Is Manchester's their Hollywood, right?
I think of it more as their Hoboken.
Okay. Ew.
It gave me kind of Hoboken-y vibes.
Okay.
It's very young, almost maybe Brooklyn or Hoboken, a little bit less metropolitan than London.
I'm going there while I'm on.
You're going to Manchester.
I'm going to go to the Lad Bible offices.
Oh, awesome.
I'm going to do some videos with them. We're
Love
gonna do
it.
Some,
Are you going to the Manchester office or the London office?
Probably the London
They have offices both
How
places.
far away is Manchester from London?
Oh, it's a train ride.
Right. I remember this.
I think it's 2 hours.
I went once. Yeah. I think I opened for Michelle there, and it was nice. It's modern, isn't
in Manchester. Yeah. It's kind of rebuilt. That's what I'm saying. It's a little city in itself. It's a little bit less. It's more chill than a London vibe.
Is it where BBC is?
I don't know.
All right.
I was there for 2 days maybe.
Got it.
So I don't know that much.
And
about
you liked it?
Yeah, I thought it was more relaxing than a London.
The hustle and bustle of
but I could see why it'd be a place where this guy would live young.
Right.
It seems like a good place to be young and single and working at in media or a startup or something.
Right, and I think for when you plan the date and give a spot, you're just trying to nail it.
Right. He's I know this place. It's vetted.
Right.
I've taken other people there.
Right.
Yeah.
The my treat thing. It's one of those things that taken out of context, it would sound. It can. I understand what she's saying.
When someone says my treat to me, I don't think I'm being talked to like I'm a dog.
No, but based on how she wrote the email,
right,
it was kind of led us to Dogville.
I guess I'll buy you an ice cream.
Right.
That's right.
If you come here,
Fine.
I'll get you. All
right. Well, picky stamp.
Sorry.
Okay. All right. Let's do another email.
Let's do it.
Hi, J&J. I've been a listener for years and would love your input on this one. My ex, 28 male, and me, 28 female, dated for 10 months before breaking up a year and a half ago. Long story short, we broke up because he didn't want to work on the relationship and then cheated, seemingly to make me end the relationship instead of him. Only to then, 1 month later, after we broke up, profess his love and try to get back with me. And when I said no, offer to just hook up. Safe to say...
I love you. I just want you in my arms. Okay, can we just hook up a little bit?
I could see how this would devolve into that. Safe to say things ended on weird terms. Anyway, about 4 months ago, he started religiously viewing my LinkedIn profile about once a week, sometimes more. I get a notification every time he views it, which I'm assuming he doesn't know about. He unfollowed me and removed me as a follower on every other social media. So is this just the only way he can see me? I cannot imagine he's this into my professional career. I want him to stop because his name popping up every week on my phone makes me think about him more than I want to after I've already closed that chapter in my life. However, I don't want to reach out and reinitiate contact with him. Also, after 4 months of weekly views, I may have waited way too long to let him know, and I can see how often he checks it. Let me know what you think. Sincerely, a professional ex. Oh, wow.
Great sign off.
Yeah. LinkedIn is the only thing where people can see that.
You can see that, right?
Yeah. I think you can see it if you have your profile on a mode to be able to see who looks at yours, then other people will see that you look at theirs. But there's a way to, I think, make both of, correct me if I'm wrong. I think there's a way where it's if you make your LinkedIn profile private, then you can't see who's looked at yours, but other people can't see that you've looked at theirs.
This is the hole in my resume.
Correct?
I don't know.
Anyone?
I haven't been on
Yeah, view private so that you can't see who looked at yours, but other people also won't see that you looked at theirs. Correct? Okay. I hope so. Otherwise, there's a lot of people that see that I've looked at their profiles.
You're fucked.
Well, I don't have LinkedIn.
I haven't had it. I mean, there's probably an account from when I was like selling life insurance. Like that's how long ago it's been since I've even.
You haven't logged in, and maybe you've been getting some dating messages on there.
I might be. Is this? Well, I wonder on LinkedIn. Like, I've Googled and found people's LinkedIn profiles and like.
But I don't think people would see if you clicked on the profile. I don't think they would see it because you don't have LinkedIn, so it wouldn't be linked to your profile.
Somehow, I was dating a girl who saw that my dad looked at her LinkedIn.
Embarrassing.
That's embarrassing. Yes. Like he was like checking her out, and I was like, "Do you have?" I go to my dad. I go, "Do you have LinkedIn?"
Does he?
And he was like, "I guess so." Like he was like pretty weird about it.
Should everyone go connect with him on LinkedIn?
The faceless guy on LinkedIn who doesn't have a job. Yeah. What do you think?
This is mortifying for this guy.
I think he knows.
You think he knows she can see?
Yeah, I think he knows. I think this is
every week. Isn't that a little embarrassing?
No, I think we all rationalize our social media moves and
every day.
I don't know.
It's not like an Instagram story where it would pop up and you could just like look casually. Like you have to go to someone's profile to look at their LinkedIn.
I know. And you're seeing like I mean, I don't know how many times people are updating their pictures on LinkedIn.
No, I think he's like still fixated on her.
That's
clearly why he's doing that. It's very flattering.
Well, it's flattering. It's also like him checking on something that he fucked up.
Yeah.
Like based on the story, like if he still like has love for you and cares about you, I do think that that's where this come from. He's like, this is someone that I could have been with if I had just committed and done it right. And I put them in a position to break up with me. And instead, I'm here single, just checking on them.
This is the dream, my friends.
This is the dream.
This is the dream.
Hey, I feel for this guy.
It's so funny.
She's
like, it bothers me to see keep getting reminded him every week. I'm like, oh, if I get reminded that like NX just knows he fucked up like every day, I'd be like, okay, great.
Brutal.
I'll have it with my morning coffee. I don't know. If I were her, I'd be like, this is awesome.
Well, if she's bothered by it, don't you think that she's maybe like wondering a little bit too?
Yeah, she says it hurts her to see him. Right.
I mean, there's
tough.
exes I see in my story views that it like brings me to.
Does it bother you? Have you ever thought about messaging them, asking them to not look at your stories?
No, it does. This is why you unfollow and you unsubscribe, because it's like it's not doing you any good.
But LinkedIn, she can unfollow. But what she can do, I think, is change her profile to private, at least temporarily, so she doesn't get notified.
So she has to change her. Like, what if this is a big part of her work life? LinkedIn.
So that other people can see that she's clicking their profile?
Well, I don't know. I don't know. There's got to be
I guess there's a reason.
There's a reason for everything.
Yeah, I mean, there's that thing on TikTok, right, where like you can have it on a mode where like people can see if you've looked at their profile or looked at their thing. Isn't that a thing? Yeah.
No, there's a mode where it's like if you send them the link, you can see if they've looked at the link yet or something.
Oh, but I think there was also, I don't know if it still exists, there was a time where you could see, like, you could have it on a setting where other people would see if you looked at their video. And in order to do that, what you like get is that you get to see who looks at your videos.
Right. There's a cost and a cost benefit analysis.
You have to be you have to like give and take, which I like about it. It's like you can go either you can go totally private, no one can see what you do, no, you can't see what anyone else does, or you both get the access.
Does she message this guy?
I don't think I'd message. I think that's weird. Stop looking at my profile. Like, it's a free country. We can online stalk whoever we want. I think if she doesn't want to see it, she could, one, not check her those like kinds of notifications, or maybe she gets emails about them, or two, change it temporarily
so that he like
to get to be private mode, to be like she's not getting notifications because she's not getting the information.
I mean, as someone who has gone and looked up exes, I'm sure you have.
Yeah,
as
of course.
There are certain times where I've like looked at stories and I'm like, that'll get seen.
Yeah.
And because we're all narcissists, we all think that everyone sees us. I think he wants her to see it. I think that's him, like, kind of like his like Hail Mary.
He wants her to message him?
Probably. I mean, if he was willing to come back and then cheat on her, he's a little delusional. You know, like maybe if he says I love you and then hey, let's just hook up instead.
Yeah.
Like the guy's like, I understand why she's fearful of him.
Maybe she could update her LinkedIn profile to say, whatever your name is, please stop looking. I see you.
Hey, Robert, if it's you, I don't want you looking at this profile.
Right.
Yeah. It's his one connection to her. And it's a little sad. I mean, it's funny that like you would love it, but I'm like, I feel sad for this guy that he's like every week he's having a trip down memory lane wondering what could have been.
Yeah.
You know, and honestly, it's like a sickness, right? Like honestly, what could have been, he probably thinks, well, he probably isn't acting on it.
Well, he also probably doesn't have much going on otherwise. Otherwise, he probably wouldn't be doing that.
Right. Or, yeah, he's not seeing anyone else, right?
Right.
Dating-wise.
Yeah.
I don't know what she does.
I would change it if it were really bothering me and I were her. Again, I would find it flattering. But if she's saying she doesn't find it flattering, she finds it like it hurts her. I would just temporarily, I don't think it's going to impact your career that much to put it on a private mode so you don't get notifications about who looks at your profile for a month, 2 months.
And you're kind of like smoking them out. What you're doing is you're trying to get them off of the drug that is you. Because after a few months, you would hope that they've like figured this out.
They wouldn't
without
stop,
you.
Right.
Is it too late for her to email? I don't think it's too late. I think if she did contact him, if you take that route.
Hey, I've noticed every day for the past 4 months.
Can you stop looking at my LinkedIn? It's bothering me. I know it shouldn't bother me, but I don't like that you're like hanging around. And she could be upset about it because she's like saddened that he's still not moved on. But he cheated on her. Right. I don't know.
Can you block someone on LinkedIn? I feel like you can.
You got to be able to.
I would imagine if she could block someone, then she should just block him.
Yeah.
Right?
Right. And that could probably feel, you can block
him.
him.
The whole time. It was right there. Just block him. Okay.
I think you got to block him.
Yeah.
Because blocking him.
I don't think she can message him.
I don't want him to like, no, you know.
Didn't she block him on all the other socials?
Yeah, block. Because
it's crazier to message someone that they blocked you on LinkedIn.
Right.
Than to
I saw you block me on LinkedIn. Yeah, I saw you were looking at my profile every day for a year. Like the Notebook. Like this is like the sad version of the Notebook. I looked at your LinkedIn every day for a year.
And you didn't even endorse me for any job skills. So you're out.
Let's play some games.
Let's do it.
Red flag or deal breaker. It's the game crisscrossing the nation. All you got to do, if you're dating someone, it's a red flag and you move on. You're dating someone, it's going great. One thing happens. Red flag, you notice it, move on. Deal breaker, you end it sight unseen. All right, ready?
All right, I'm ready. I'm interested to hear what you think about this one.
Here we go. J&J, longtime fan, always singing your praises. I'm back on the apps and had a first date this weekend that went mostly well. Except for one weird thing. He went to the bathroom 4 times during our 3-hour date. 4 times in 3 hours. Not crazy.
It's not the most insane thing I've ever heard.
It wasn't 16 times.
You're drinking on the date.
Right. Here's the breakdown. First bath.
not that you're keeping score or anything. Yeah.
Oh, I had a stomachache on the date. I hope she didn't notice. I have a bullet point.
I have an Excel sheet
of how many times and when it was. First bathroom trip was upon arrival. I texted him, totally normal. I texted him, I just parked, and he said, great, I went to the bathroom, but tell the host you're with, insert last name. I had a reservation, no problem, didn't think this was too weird. That's not even weird at all.
Also, I think it would be totally normal to go to the bathroom when you get to the date, not having to go to the bathroom if your date isn't there. I would always go and like just see how I look, get a last minute sense, fix my hair, adjust my outfit if needed.
I would say this bathroom doesn't even count.
I would agree.
This didn't even happen during the day.
I would go kill time.
Yeah.
Before get there super early, whatever.
Right. Get out your last farts. Okay. Second bathroom trip was maybe 40 minutes later. Normal again. I don't believe he would have finished his first drink even.
This girl's the FBI.
Yeah. Really keeping an eye on what he's doing. Even to remember the first trip is weird.
Right, that he was in the bathroom when you got there. Right.
Third trip, we got an appetizer and dinner, and at some point he ordered a second drink. After we finished dinner, he had a good amount of his drink left and encouraged me to get a second round. He went to the bathroom while I waited for the second trip, this time saying, sorry, I worked out today, so I drank a lot of water. I thought this was an odd excuse as someone who does hot yoga every day and also drinks way more water than the average person.
Not everyone has the same bladder.
Right. And Your a lot of water is different than his a lot of water. You don't know.
Like,
I've had moments where I've drank like a lot of water in the morning and then I'm peeing the whole day.
I would agree. Yeah.
Fourth bathroom visit was when he went across the street for one more drink, I think before the drinks arrived, at least early on in the nightcap. I know this sounds nitpicky. Oh, really? But it left me with a lot of questions. Was it a nervous tummy, coke habit, STI, an excuse to check his phone? I drank a ton of water and only went once the whole night. That's not fair.
I agree. You can't compare bladders.
No. He was flirty and mentioned future dates and followed up with excited texts, then ghosted me the next day. So I'm wondering, what do you think he was doing in there? And should this have been more of a red flag? Can't wait to hear your take and fully expect Jared to roast me for speculating about a stranger's digestive health. Wondering if I'm peeing too much judgment into this. What do you think?
I think unless there were other signs of like, okay, like let's start with like, I guess the worst thing that it could be, a coke habit, a drug habit or something.
You think that's worse than texting another woman or his wife in the bathroom?
I mean, I guess, but like you could be texting anyone in the bathroom.
Sure.
Right? You could.
I mean, when I go to the bathroom on a date, I'm looking at my phone
I've responded to like a work text or something like on a, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I think that's, yeah, if he's fine. I guess worst case, he's texting another woman or he has a drug problem that he's going to the bathroom to. I think you would find out both of those things eventually.
Right. This is an example of getting too far ahead.
Yeah. If everything else was fine, I would just think of it as like an interesting thing.
Right. And the thing is, the problem for this woman is all things. It could be all things. It could be a coke problem.
It could be a bathroom issue.
He had a stomach issue that day. It could be that he drank a lot of water. It could be that he has someone else he's texting. It could be he has an STI. Like all of those things.
It could be he has a pimple that he's very self-conscious about and he wants to keep checking if it looks okay.
We have no idea, but like I don't like the idea. What I feel the worst about is them going, should I have seen, because they got ghosted. Like, this is coming after the fact. She says he was flirty, mentioned future dates, and followed up with excited texts, then ghosted me the next day. So now I'm wondering. Like, you were never going to get ahead of this.
Right.
You went on a fun date. I do think if you're sitting there and you have the ability to tell us in detail what each bathroom visit was like, maybe it wasn't that good of a date. Right. Maybe you weren't all there. Maybe you weren't the most fun and loose version of yourself. So I think like that's one of those things where it's like,
I am surprised that he ghosted if they went across the street for one more drink.
I'm not. I've gone for one more drink with people that I'm like,
I guess. I would think of it as a positive sign.
To me, I'm out. Let's have the night.
Okay.
See where
It's nothing to be with anyone.
Right. My bathroom at home isn't that great. I want to go in the bathroom.
Blow up as many bathrooms as I can.
Right. Why would I do my own? I can use the toilet paper out here. Yeah. I just think, to me,
toilet paper is expensive.
Right. To me, there's like a little bit, there's a correlation here of someone who's like really looking at everything I do to wonder if I'm being truthful or not, and letting go.
Okay.
Like, I don't know how much fun you could have been.
Right. Yeah. It seems like if you've had the mental energy to like clock all of these bathroom situations, it probably wasn't going that well. Would you go to the bathroom more on a date you weren't interested in?
A little bit. I needed the break.
Yeah. From the person?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not from from the conversation, from the exhaust. Yeah, it's the person.
Okay.
I've also I've gone on dates where I've gone in the bathroom a lot. I've gone on dates where I've like...
Should someone take it personally if they go on a date with you and you go to the bathroom more than...
I can't say. It's like if I drank a lot of water that day, I don't know. I've been on dates where I'm like, I've yawned on dates. I hate when people are like, am I boring? I'm like, I've never yawned because of someone being boring.
Right.
Like that's a cartoon Wile E. Coyote thing.
You don't do...
Oh! Like... Hopefully that makes her wrap it up.
Yeah. All right. So I would say red flag, I guess.
It's a no flag, but
okay.
I guess it's a red flag because notice it. listen, if you go on the second date and they go to the bathroom 7 times, yeah, then we start going, what's going on here?
Right. All right, let's do another one. Okay. Love the pod, listening for years, and love the live show in NYC.
Thank you.
I just moved to Charlotte and have been going on Tinge dates to meet new people and find a partner. I set up a date for a Friday after work a few days earlier. I think we set the date on a Wednesday. I responded to a text he had sent Friday morning, and he never followed up for the whole day. I assumed he was ghosting me and didn't want to go on the date. He texted me at 7 p.m. at the time we had set for the date and said he was at the restaurant. I had already made other plans with friends, so I couldn't make it, but he never followed up. Is this my fault, and is it a deal breaker that he never followed up? No show or no go?
I mean, to me, you've wasted your own time.
Can we explain this? So I'm getting a little confused by the timeline here.
So here's the timeline. I understand it. Set up a date for Friday after work a few days earlier.
Okay.
I think we set a date on a Wednesday. So let's say they set it up on Wednesday.
Okay.
We're
going to go out
Friday after work.
Okay.
I responded to a text he had sent Friday morning. Okay. So Friday morning, day of the date. So they make a plan Wednesday. Friday morning, day of the date, he shows that he's alive.
He texts her something not related to the date, I assume.
Apparently.
Okay.
She responds, and he doesn't respond to that. I don't know what that text was. We're not being sent that text. I think, and then if you have a plan and they show proof of life in the morning.
You could say, where are we meeting?
Right.
Right?
To me, one of your texts, if you start to get the feeling like you're going to not have a date that night, I would value my own time a little bit more and say,
to know what I was doing.
Right. Hey, I just want to make sure we're still on. And if he wrote back, of course we are. Or if he wrote back nothing, then I wouldn't go on the date.
Did he give her a place?
Yes, we set up a date on Wednesday.
Oh, so they had the time and the place and she just didn't show up?
Because he didn't respond to the other text that she sent after he sent a text Friday morning.
That's crazy. Why wouldn't she show up to the date?
Why not text him, hey, what's the plan tonight? Or are we still... Hey,
but they already. I would assume if you have to opt out in night. If you've already set up the place and the time, obviously it's nice to have a confirm. Okay, that's nice. But I don't think if you don't get one, that means you just don't show up.
You're being a little precious. You're being a little bit. You're like, what are you, royalty? We have to make sure that we send the king's battalion to come pick you up. Like,
right.
You set up a first date Friday 7 o'clock at. Bozos, I'll see you there.
Right.
That's it. This is
you don't know anyone that much.
Right. We're figuring this out. We're gonna see if it's a match.
Pre-ordering the lobster, he doesn't need to confirm that you're gonna
it's precious.
I agree. I would be, if I were him, I wouldn't answer her either after she didn't show up and didn't say anything.
No, I just think this idea that
both people can confirm.
I assumed he was ghosting me. I don't think you assume that.
That doesn't make any sense. I mean, have you been women can confirm dates. Is that great? I'm just confused.
No, she should listen, value your own time.
Right.
I want to go out with someone that goes,
just confirming we're on for tonight.
Right.
Yeah.
And then if your response is, well, why doesn't he confirm? He seemed to think
he showed
it was
up.
set.
Yeah.
He seemed to think we were good to go.
This is totally her fault. I would text him and apologize.
I think you should.
If I showed up to a date and the guy was like, you never confirmed, or and he didn't come, and then he said you never confirmed, I would be like, that's so rude. That's insane.
Right. What is this, a dentist appointment?
It's crazy.
I gotta say Y or N to the automated text.
Yeah. I mean, I think a confirm is a nice thing, but either person can do it, and I don't think if it's not done, that means the date is canceled.
I agree, and it can be done nicely. Hey,
just want to make sure we're still on for tonight.
Looking forward to tonight. 7 still good? I've sent that text a million times.
Also, it's a first date, right?
Yeah.
It's a first date. No one's that excited that they're triple confirming.
No.
Okay. Sorry.
You're the red flag. Okay.
Kinda.
Let's do another one.
Yeah.
Last one. I finally met up with a guy I've been chatting with for a while. Within the first 5 minutes, he asked, so you're a flight attendant? For context, I work in aviation, but not as a pilot or a flight attendant. And my actual job title was right there on my profile.
Can she just say what she does?
This is the most annoying part of the whole email.
Right.
She never says what she does. So I don't know what...
Could it be confused for a flight attendant?
Right. I don't know what in aviation exists that's not a flight attendant or a pilot.
Right.
So if I can't think of top of mind what that is, I'm with you. could there have been confusion that whatever that name is?
Could it be a euphemism for flight attendant?
Right. And listen, and I do understand. So you're a flight attendant. Could be the douchiest thing I ever said. I just don't know.
It depends what her job title is on her profile.
She never says it. Now, there's nothing wrong with being a flight attendant, but as a woman in a male-dominated industry who worked her ass off to get where she is, we don't know where she worked to get to.
What do you do?
Right. The assumption felt lazy and sexist. Like you couldn't even skim the profile before the date. I would need to know the name of this profession. Or imagine me doing anything else in aviation. I smiled and let it go. Classic people pleaser. But I still wish I had called it out. So red flag or deal breaker, he makes a gendered assumption about your career despite your profile spelling it out. Signed, we can do it, but maybe not date him.
You can't not include the profession and expect us to side with you or not side with you.
Right.
And let's say that, I'm going to give you some examples. Let's give some examples.
Sure.
And then you decide if this would be a deal breaker or not. Let's say she writes, aviation servicewoman.
I would go, so are you a
would
flight
you think
attendant?
Would be offended? Right.
Are you a flight attendant? Okay. No, I wouldn't be offended.
I'm trying to think of another one.
Aviation technician. So you're a flight attendant?
That's a little more offensive.
I agree.
Yeah.
I'm a flight coordinator.
Also offensive.
Really?
I don't think a flight coordinator. I guess maybe on the border.
I don't know. I'm a airline chef.
I guess the flight attendant is kind of an airline mixologist.
I would go, are you a flight attendant?
Yeah.
Also, I need to know the context for so you're a flight attendant. I do agree just assuming based on like another description.
Right. Well, let's say your profile said entertainer.
Right. So you're a stripper.
Yeah, I guess.
I'd
right.
Be like,
you're technically an entertainer.
Right.
And a stripper is also an entertainer.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So if entertainer and someone came on the day and goes, so you're a stripper, I'd be like, are you blind? Okay. But yeah, I'm not that. Yeah. Entertainer. So. And then they just like look you up and down like my parents would when I come home. So you're you're a clown.
Yeah.
I would be a little offended. Mm-hmm. But if it said I'm a comedian, so you're a stand-up? Yeah, I would go, okay.
Right. Yeah, I think it really.
So you're an improv person? That would make sense too.
I agree.
I think I need to know.
Please,
Can you please
update? Send us an update and send us what it says.
Also, when you don't write what you do and then you go on this rant of like male-dominated industry and you gendered the thing, you used a lot of words to get us to convince us that this person's evil and you're not, and you're the victim here.
But I have to assume she didn't put it. She didn't tell us what she's for a reason.
That's the thing. Yeah. That's where I lose trust for the thing you did. Like, we're not stupid. Nobody's stupid. That's what nobody's dumb.
I also only know of like those 2 jobs in aviation myself.
Right. That's why I read this and I go, what does she do? Like, I'm so curious. And please write in, let us know. But if you had written, I'm a
corporate aviation,
I see those. Oh, I work in private flights. I'm a flight attendant on private planes.
Could see that.
That happens. You see that on dating apps too. I'm just saying, like, when you go into this, like, when I see that paragraph of like the male-dominated industry, after you were vague, it feels like you're just trying to like usher us to your side.
Right. Or she was like, this is clearly something that she has like a insecurity about or something that bothers her. And then she's sort of like being triggered by this thing, which doesn't necessarily feel related. Again, it depends on if your profile says something completely different that makes it very clear what you do, let us know and we will retract.
I'm happy to be wrong, but send it in. Send us a screenshot of your profile.
Yes.
We did it. We solved dating again.
We'll be back on Friday.
My best friend's wedding. Watch it. Boom.